Hey there. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do some automated browsing using Python Selenium. And more specifically, we'll be using the XPATH method. And I'll be doing this on Kijiji because I like to repost my ads. Might as well use a real world practical applications. And XPath is a superior way of finding elements. And I'll just, in a second, I'll show you why. Let's get started. Let me show you my code. Again, all my code will be in the description of this video. I'm importing time, OS, and platform, and that's just normal stuff because I'm using time delay. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Maybe you guys can see. There we go. And let me just close this here. So again, you're gonna need all this from Selenium. You're gonna need options, and I renamed the options Firefox options. You don't have to do that. You can keep it as options, but you might as well just follow what I do because that's what I did. And then you're gonna need service. So you may need some globals, well, depending on your app, but I have some globals here, global variables. And the reason why I have a time is because I'm going to be doing a time delay. Like, there's other ways of doing time. I just noticed that Selenium or some websites, they when you use the other option for Selenium, then it sort of like screws up. I just noticed that when you use time delay in 5 seconds between each clicks, it always works. And over here is just a path to my directory. This is sort of standard. You guys can copy this. It's just basically it shows the full path to this file, to the file I'm using here, main. And here are a bunch of Firefox options. I have no sandbox and all this stuff. You guys can look this up. Again, it'll be in the description. And here's some preferences. Again, this is a pretty much standard. You guys can look this up. And here I just initiated the Firefox options, and over here this is a comprehension list, but I'm using it as a loop, as a one-liner loop, and basically I'm just adding all these options. I'm adding all these options. I'm adding all these preferences here as add arguments, and I'm just adding all these options there. And same thing here. I'm adding all these preferences, all this stuff here. That's just a one-liner loop. And I'm using platform up here is platform. Just saying if it's on a Windows computer, then I want to use these Gecko drivers. So there's a Gecko drivers here, the Win32, and you can get it from the website, the Gecko website. I know it's there somewhere. And then if I'm using because I have Raspberry Pi, so I want to use the Arch Linux, the Linux Arch Linux Gecko drivers. For some reason, it's not currently working, so I know it's working for Windows. Anyways, and you may want like if you don't want to put your Firefox into your environmental folder, you can actually just get the Firefox has an exe file. Find where that exe file is and make a direct make a complete directory towards that exe file. And same thing with your on your Linux. Find where the Firefox executable file is and just get the path to it there. And here, this is what you're gonna have to do. I noticed that there's a couple. So you're gonna you need the path to your Firefox profile. And what you want to do is go log into Firefox, you go into Firefox and go in and go to Kijiji or whatever website and log in your password and all that stuff. I know it gets saved into your it gets saved into this Firefox profile, and it's pointing towards this particular file, and everything's saved there because for some reason I'm unable to enter my password or log in into Kijiji because it blocks stuff. So basically, I'm just referring to this Firefox profile. So the way you add it is you go to add arguments and you use a single dash and then profile. And then again, you go my options and add arguments, and then you put the profile path here. And again, all that's going to be in the link description. And you do my service, and you're going to put the path to your Gecko drivers here, your Gecko drivers. I believe it's up here. And down here in my options, you want to type in binary location, and that's basically the path to where your Firefox exe file is here. And over here is for the Linux version. So you know where your exe file. So if you don't want to put into your environmental variables, I don't want to put in my environmental variables. So I have it here, my options binary location, and I put it over here. And let's get started here. So first step is you want to initiate the driver. So WebDriver, Firefox, and then you put these options. Service equals to my service, which I have up here. And this is your Gecko, this is referring to your Gecko drivers. And then options is to my options, which is all my options that I inputted, which is like this stuff, the binary location, and all this other options here, all this other stuff. So, yeah, so source of visits the website, and let me show you what I'm doing here. So I'm using XPATH, and the thing is, I don't want to use. The thing is, they could change the website up and make things like random, right? So I don't make sure it always clicks on what it's supposed to click. So the syntax goes like this: you do double forward slash, and then the element. It could be div, it could be anything. Let me show you here. So let me just get the options here. Inspect. Let me make this a bit small. So you want to find what you're looking for. Let's say you were looking for here ads or just active, right? And if you go to hit inspect, it shows you right here. So the element here is div, and if you look at this, it's class, and it's kind of messy here, right? And it could change this number up just to throw you off. So you're better off looking for the word active, right? So the way you do that, because you know the element's div, and you know inside the div the inner HTML is active. So that's what you want to like target. So what you want to do is go div and then big bracket and type in contains, right? Go to contains, and inside the first, and there's two spots, there's two areas, there's where you want to put. You want to put here text, because you want to put in contains in the text, the inner HTML, and over here is the word you want to use, and you may want to use double brackets for double quotation marks here. So the outer path has single quotation marks, then the inner here is just double quotation marks, and then you want to end the bracket, and over here, these two lines here, that means you want to go down, like basically if you want to go further down and go into the span. Um, that's just an example. So if you want to go to a child, right? So if there's something inside the node, like another element inside it, then you can target it by just doing double bracket and span. It'll target a child. Likewise, if you type in parent, I believe I have a parent somewhere. Here, if you type in forward slash and then parent, right, and then you put double and then these two here, you can actually find the parent, and the parent could be a button, it could be an element. So you would put down what the element is, like a button or something like that. So that's how you would find. That's if you want to go back up one level and do that. So I find that it sort of like works this way better. I guess eventually you want to find those elements on here, right? For instance, I want to find this number one here. Because I think is I want to see if there's an ad or not. So I inspect here and here. But if you just type in one, like it could be, one's everywhere here, right? So it could be this one, that one. So what you want to do, you want to make sure it's a span one, and first of all you want to make sure it's in the div, the act underneath active. And so this div, the child for this div is the span, right? So we're going to target the div, and then we're going to go into the span, and then going to look for this one. So I think I do that here in my code somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Up, back up here, back up, back up. Here it is. So int. So over here, again, I'm looking for the div, and I'm looking for the word active, and then I'm looking for span. All right, right over there. So it's looking for this. So it's looking. You see, it finds this active, and it looks for the span. So it looks for the span right here, right? And I want what's inside the span, and all you have to do is type in dot txt text, and that will give me the number. And over here, I have an if statement. If this number is greater than one, then we're gonna delete the ad. So over here, I can tell you it's active, and I have more than one ad in, so it's gonna delete this ad, right? And then once that's deleted, then it starts resumes and it starts posting new ad. Okay, so some other things you can do with XPath is same thing over here. See this pattern here, text area, that's an element. And if there's an attribute are these things here, like class, like all these other things inside the element. I wonder if I can maybe zoom up so you can see better. Here we go. This is a little bit better. So all this here, all this in here, ID, that's an attribute, class is an attribute, type is an attribute. So if you want to target an attribute, you would have to put this @ symbol. Don't forget to put the brackets though. You put the element, brackets, and inside the brackets you put this @ symbol, and that's, you can put the attribute there, and then equals, and then you put the attribute name. So in this case, it could be type, right, and it could be button. So the attribute, so you type in here type for ID over here, just type in type, and then over here you would type in button, and it's sort of, that's how it targets that there. You can send keys if you want, or you can send buttons. If you want to send keys, let me see an example for sending keys. I think I have one that sends. That's the deleting ad. That deletes the ad. Here you go. So it sends keys here, and okay, that's a click. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to put in pictures. Send keys. Okay, sends that there. Okay, so it does all that. Okay, so here sending pictures. If you want to send pictures, you have to basically it has to be an input, and the type has to be file. Um, so you look for this. I'm looking for this element. Basically, when you target the element, that the element is going to be input. It has to be input, and it has to be the type file. Those are the ones that you click on, and it opens the window, and then you can upload a file. And then you want to send the path to where you want to upload. So in this case, I have a path here, and it's to a picture JPEG right here. And the way, if you look at my file, let me just see if I can find it. There's Selenium, and then if you look at house pictures, I name all my house pictures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like just numbers, and I'm just doing a for loop, and it's just giving the path, and then basically this is just a complete path to those pictures there. And I'm using a for loop to repeat this process over again to put all the pictures in. And yeah, a lot of this is a lot of the same thing. And at the end, you want to click the type submit, and that submits everything. I think that's the whole video. Okay, again, all the code will be in the link description, and that's about it.